Hello friends, so this is our seventh day and today we are going to take up 10 words starting with G, and the first word is genial. You can see the spelling in the left corner. Genial means friendly. Somebody may have a genial personality, a genial smile, and your host may be a genial host. So not only friendly, it has got an added meaning. If you are a genial host, you should exude warmth and kindness. So, talking about your companion, your partner, rather than him or her to be friendly, you would like a genial partner, friendly, exuding warmth, and showing kindness. So, suppose you are suppose you have gone to your friend's house who has a very genial personality, and you are just admiring some decorative piece in his drawing room, and you accidentally drop it, and it's destroyed. So your genial host, how is he going to react? He will be rather upset, but he will recover his geniality rather fast. So geniality is the noun. So you have a genial smile, a genial host, somebody of genial personality, and you may also have a genial weather. Genial weather means warm enough to, to plants to grow. So it is also, warmth thing is in the weather also. So that is genial. Uh, you may also throw a genial glance at somebody you know. Mostly it's used with host, a genial host. That is most common use. Now second word is garrulous. So garrulous is very common word. Examiner's favorite. Garrulous means somebody who is talking endlessly. And if somebody is talking endlessly, they cannot always talk in a sensible way. So they must be talking about some trivial or unimportant things. So your friend may also be garrulous. There is not much negativity about it. It's not like they are trying to deceive you or something. We will have another word where glib. That word is associated with talking, and that has got another connotation, negative connotation. But garrulous means just somebody who is, I mean, uh, very fond of the sound of his or her own voice, talking a big deal. So somebody may be irritatingly garrulous, means very garrulous. And if you find such a person in a party, you had better avoid him because after a couple of picks, he is likely to be more garrulous. And if in a plane, your neighbor is, you found that he is very talkative, then you can just pretend that you are asleep or something, or you can open your laptop and start doing something, reading something. If you don't want to be get bored by him, a speech may also be garrulous. A person may be garrulous. A speech may also be garrulous. In that sense, it will be wordy, too many words to express a thing. No economization of the words in words. Too wordy speech will be a garrulous speech. Then we have gaffe. Gaffe. Like you can see the spelling. Gaffe means a social blunder. Suppose you have invited some friends to your house for dinner, and you start serving yourself first. That will be a gaffe. Absent-mindedly, you might be discussing something or thinking about something, and suddenly you start, you know, serving. So you intended to serve them first, but accidentally or just absent-mindedly you serve yourself first. That is a gaffe. Or in a party, you meet somebody and very warmly you greet him. Hello, Mr. Verma, how are you doing? It turns out that he is not Verma, he is some Chauhan. So that will be a real gaffe. So these are gaffes. Social blunder. Plus, gaffe may also be used when you make a mistake, not a social blunder, but just a mistake which is very noticeable. For example, when you go for an interview, the interviewer will be looking for the gaffes that you might make, rather than all those lofty ideas that you have well rehearsed. He is not interested in them. If you make a gaffe, you're gone. So, gaffe may also be a big mistake which you might make. But generally, it's social blunder, diplomatic blunder. That is also gaffe. Germane. Germane means irrelevant. You are in a court and your opponent is arguing something and suddenly you feel very agitated, but because what he is saying is not relevant to the case at all. He has gone astray. He has deviated from the issue in hand. Then you just stand up and say, "What is the? Uh, how is this? How is this argument germane to this issue?" You may ask that. In a similar context, suppose you have got a particular view on, say, drinking. Suppose you are a moderate drinker and you are going a PIL where you are supposed to ask the judge for banning the sale of alcohol in your state. So your opponent may ask, what is your personal opinion on this? Because he knows that you drink. Then you might say, my personal opinion is not germane to this issue. Right? Okay. Suppose you are discussing something with your spouse and she says something, and if you are not listening very carefully, you will not be in a position to ask germane questions. So relevant and appropriate, both. That is germane. And if you could think of some other example, analogy. Somebody in the course of their arguments or debate, they may give some analogy which may not be germane, relevant and appropriate. So it might be irrelevant and inappropriate. Then you might say this is not germane. Okay, so that is germane. Then you have glean. Glean means to gather something bit by bit, laboriously. For example, you might be gleaning the old files for some information, or some reporter may be gleaning the news clippings of the last 10 years to research something. So gleaning must involve some labor and it will be done slowly. Only then you would call it gleaning. Actually, the word uh, earlier it meant to pick up the grains that fall on the ground after the field has been harvested. So the grain that has fallen on the ground that will be collected and fed to animals. So that was original gleaning. So bit by bit, slowly, laboriously. That is the idea. If you have lost your pen and you find it in your side table, then you would not say I have gleaned it. You have found it. Okay. So that is gleaning. Then comes gloat. You gloat over your success. Means you are feeling very happy about it. Suppose you have won a match and you are gloating over it, thinking of it and feeling good about it. That's okay. The thing is, suppose the match has just ended and you are making fun of your opponent. That is not okay. Gloating. That is gloating. The real meaning of gloat is to express an unwholesome pleasure, unpleasant type over your opponent's loss. So, since you have won and they are in such a bad position, you should rather, kind to them because you have won. Somebody is down, why further? Try to make him further miserable. It's not okay. That is gloating and that is bad. So, or suppose something bad happens to your neighbor and you're not on good terms with your neighbor, then you might say, serves him right. Acha hua. That is gloating. So, as you can see, not a good thing. Do you watch tennis matches? You would find that almost all players, when they make a good shot, a winning shot, then they stare at their opponent, stare very angrily and very gloatingly. That is one part I don't like about the tennis matches. Every point, it would be miracle if they didn't do it. And since the established players are doing this, the newcomers they also are copying them. It's terribly bad. It might help them to remain competitive, but for the audience, it does not make a good scene. They stare so hard. I mean, gloating at its worst. Okay, so that is gloating. Then you have glib. A glib liar means a smooth liar. He will tell a lie so smoothly and so fluently that you are likely to be deceived. A politician may be glib when he makes glib promises, means promises that he does not intend to keep. If there is serious discussion and if you make a casual comment, that is a glib comment. And something, for example, if you have gone to a mall to buy something, say a vacuum cleaner, and you stumble into a glib salesman who starts telling you the advantages of having an air fryer, and you get convinced, you end up buying an air fryer, which you are not going to use. That money is down the drain. So, if you end up an air fryer while you had actually gone for buying a vacuum cleaner, you have to concede that the salesman was very glib, smooth, convincing. They're so fluent that it's almost deception, dhokha. That is glib. That is glib for you. Then glut, glut, glut. You must have heard this expression, an oil glut. Too much oil in the market and the prices of oil crash. That is oil glut. Glut is also a verb. The market is glutted with tomatoes right now. So they are just 30 rupees kg. And you may also glut yourself with things you like. For example, if you are very fond of ice cream, you might say that no matter how much of ice cream I eat, my appetite for good ice cream will never be glutted. And you may glut yourself with Netflix episodes. So glut is a noun and glut is a verb as well. And you may glut yourself with things you like, and the market will be glutted with something, the prices of which will crash. From glut, there is glutton. So glutton is specifically related to eating. If somebody eats a lot, devoted to eating and drinking, For example, a big size, family size pizza along with a bottle of Coke and some cakes, cupcakes in addition. All this, I know a person who does that. He will be a glutton, eating too much, and you may. I mean, glutton has another positive sense also. If you are very fond of hard work, how many people are? Very few. But if you are, then you would say you are a glutton for hard work. Very good for you. If you really are a glutton for hard work, or if you are a glutton for hard studies, continuous studies, that's very well. So that is glutton. And then lastly we have gratuitous. Gratuitous is, I mean, this spelling is tough, and you must remember in the middle it is TUI, gratuitous, then lastly TOUS. So gratuitous is something, it has got several meanings actually, three meanings at least. If something is without cause, then you will say it's gratuitous. For someone may insult you gratuitously without any reason, and something is gratuitous if you don't have to pay for it. For example, if there is some extra work done in a civil work, the contractor will always say, I have not done it gratuitously. I need to be paid for this. So gratuitous is something done without payment. And gratuitous may also be, I mean, something, somebody is not asking you for something and you still give that thing to them. For example, suppose you have got a friend who is always telling you how to deal with the workload at your office, and you may never have expressed the wish. I mean, express the wish to such tips. Then you are getting unsolicited advice, unsolicited tips. So that is gratuitous. So we have these 10 words, and I will just repeat them for your uh, recapitulation. A genial smile, a genial host, a garrulous neighbor, an epic gaffe means a gaffe of highest order, something germane to the issue, relevant, glean information from, say, internet, a glib liar, not lawyer, then an oil gut, a glutton in your family, and finally gratuitous, a gratuitous advice. So that is it, friends. Thanks so much for your presence. So we'll meet tomorrow again with 10 words starting with H. Bye.